Hi everyone, welcome to the Muster Drill. I'm Scott and we're going to talk about the expiration of the CDC's conditional sale order. Hi everyone, welcome back. So, the CDC created the no sale order in response to, at the time, March of 2020, the emerging global pandemic of SARS-CoV-2, otherwise known as COVID-19, or early on we called it coronavirus. I guess there's still some people that still call it coronavirus because it is a coronavirus. But in any event, so the CDC created the, along with what had happened at the time. Economies shut down, the whole world shut down, right? So why wouldn't cruising shut down amidst it, right? The CDC creates the, no sale order in March of 2020, set to expire in November of 2020. In November of 2020, it basically takes on a new form of, goes from the NSO to the CSO, conditional sale order. So the conditional sale order has been in effect since November 1st. So before I go too far into, this rabbit hole, I want to preface this entire situation, this entire video. I want to preface my, position on this as I am not against the cruise lines whatsoever. On the contrary, I am pro-cruise. I am pro-cruise line. I am a member of CLIA. So I personally believe that cruising is the absolute best value in travel. I think not only is it a great value in travel, it's a great vacation. Lots of other great vacations and lots of other vacations that I personally take and that I send my clients on. However, I believe that cruising is absolutely positively the best. So I am not anti-cruising whatsoever. So I want to make sure that I make that clear before I continue down this rabbit hole, and then all of a sudden people are like, wow, I don't think this guy likes cruising. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try to put it all together now. So, okay. With all of that said, the conditional sale order went into effect on November 1st, and the cruise lines initially, in my opinion, based on what I saw, the cruise lines, resisted it. I mean, why not, right? This is an entire industry that is, gone to painstaking levels, painstaking, ends to shield itself from regulation, from liability, and, whatever, okay? This is also an atypical corporation whose goal is not to make a little bit of money. Its goal is to make gazillions of dollars, right? So, now, with that said, okay, I want to say that the cruise lines do a ton of stuff with that money, right? I mean, a ton of stuff, and it isn't just, for them. They invest in all of the local economies and all the island nations that they visit. And they bring tons, billions of dollars in revenue to these islands every year. There's no way that the money that comes into those economies could be matched by people flying into that island and staying at a resort, okay? It just can't. The cruise lines do a tremendous amount of good with that money that they generate for those economies, and those economies would not be what they are if not for the cruise lines. So You know, I mean, they do all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to go into this big long list. This video will be like 25 minutes long or longer, okay? But they do tons of stuff, right? And not just, you know, to allow their ships to get in and things like that. They develop all kinds of things, you know, develop tours and, you know, and invest in infrastructure and all this other kind of stuff so that, you know, so that passengers can get here and get there and see how amazing these places are and meet these warm and wonderful and welcoming people that live there. So, you know, they do a lot of great things with that money. But at the same time, you know, like anybody else, they're human, you know, they're run by human, you know, companies are run by humans, and a lot of humans don't like change. So, you know, they initially resisted a lot of this stuff that happened, you know, that was in the conditional sale order, but, you know, but eventually they came around. So, you know, the conditional sale order has lots and lots of stuff in it, but the primary goal of the conditional sale order was for the CDC to assess the cruise line's ability to mitigate onboard COVID cases or an outbreak of COVID while on a ship in such a way that it, you know, kept the impact to, you know, all passengers at a minimum. We remember, you know, what happened on the Diamond Princess. You know, that's the most notable example of what happened, you know, and okay, I mean, it happened. I mean, cruise ships have been dealing with viral outbreaks for a long time. Noro was not like COVID, you know, the flu's not like COVID, regardless of whether or not you want to understand that or not. The conditional sale order was to test and make sure the cruise lines were capable of doing it. You know, so the CDC developed the guidelines, they developed the protocols. People were yelling, screaming, come on, let's get back to cruising. Well, this kind of stuff takes time, right? So they took that time, they made that happen, they gave that information to the cruise lines, and they said, okay, now, here it is. You say you want to do it. You know, this is what you need to do to be able to, you know, prevent another Diamond Princess. So let's go ahead and do some test sailings and make sure you guys can do it. And for the most part, they all did. Right? They came around, they said, okay, great, we're going to do it. They did it. And I think now they see the wisdom of the whole thing. Everybody gets a test. 48 hours. It's stressful. I mean, believe me, I know. This week, on you know, this coming Sunday, I'm sailing on the Carnival Horizon. And so I have to get a COVID test on Friday morning, hope that result is back, you know, by Friday afternoon or so. I have to then drive to Washington, D.C., which is about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on traffic for me. You know, stay in a hotel, get on a plane the next day, fly to Miami, stay down in Miami the next, you know, that day, and then get on the ship the next day, right? So, you know, it's stressful. It really is. I hate it, but it's what we got to do in order to make sure that, you know, people are minimally exposed. And, you know, I mean, think about all that I just mentioned. You know, I'm going to another city. I'm going to be in that hotel. I'm going to, you know, think about how many places I could potentially pick up COVID again between the time I get my test Friday morning and the time I get on the ship, you know, Sunday afternoon. You know, so, okay, but it is stressful, I agree. So in any event, here we are with this, right? And, you know, the lines are doing a great job, I think. You know, the lines are doing a great job at, you know, following these protocols. I think they're working. And for the most part, there's been little to no pushback on any of it, because I think those people who get on the ship, you know, they're all worried about it. They're all anxious about it. But I think once they get on the ship and they see how very much like before COVID cruising is, you know, I think that relaxes a lot of people. I think they think, okay, you know what? This is basically the same. So I think I can do this. So in any event, you know, they do it. So, okay. So the conditional sale order is set to expire, you know, November 1st. The 2 days after I get back from my cruise on the Carnival Horizon. Anybody's guess if the CDC is going to extend it again. You know, I mean, the former CDC chairman, what was his name? Redcliffe or something like that or whatever. The CDC director during, you know, Trump's presidency. You know, he was quoted as saying that the cruise lines cannot be trusted to self-govern. And I think that is, based on the obvious. It is an industry that has gone to great lengths to shield itself from liability and responsibility and so on and so forth, and regulation and everything else, right? So yeah, I can understand why he thinks that. That, along with the, initial pushback that they gave to the no sale order and the conditional sale order, I completely understand why he would say that. However, I think now, in my opinion, that these protocols are in place. The cruise lines are seeing, they've gone to great lengths also to, adapt their processes to them and so forth. And I don't think they're just going to, I don't think they're going to drop them. Like, I don't think they're just going to abandon all of that. I think they see, a great deal of acceptance of them and so forth. And they know that they are, they know that they're protecting people. They know that it's a good idea to follow these protocols. And, most of them have already announced that they're extending the protocols into, early 2022, like February or March or whatever, 2022. So, and the CSO expires November 1st if they don't renew it. So, yeah, if it expires, they're still going to do it. In my opinion, I think the CSO is no longer needed. I think that that the CDC should just allow it to officially expire and trust that the cruise lines are going to continue to do what's right. And, the number, it's going to be driven by the numbers. Like, hear what you feel, what you think about, the protocols and so forth. So, leave me a comment about it below. So I think that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you very much for tuning in. And if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. And then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It won't cost you anything. You click it once and you're done, and it'll really help us out a lot. And then don't forget to click that notification bell so that you know every time we upload a new video. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.